Hi, welcome to some more quick answers where we're going to take on some of the challenges offered to Christianity. And of course, if you want more complete information, you can go to my website, and I've got video recordings, I've got audio recordings there, and I've got a book if those are interesting to you and you want more details. I thought maybe this time we could take a look at trying to get across to a non-Christian the value of the Bible. Because for a lot of people, they see the Bible as an ancient, dusty document that has had its big time and now it's gone, and who cares, we don't need it. And so I thought, one way, of course, is to talk to people and say, well, the Bible is God's Word. You want to understand what God has to say to you. Okay, well, that may work for some people, but not too many in our society. This is a biblically illiterate society. They don't even know what's in it. They don't really care. And so we have to overcome this inertia. And I think we can do it by suggesting that the Bible is a valuable piece of our literary culture that has all sorts of important things to say. And so we can start by doing this. The Bible is just simply good reading. And so we can talk to people and say some of the best poetry, some of the best stories, some of the best history, some of the most interesting characters are the ones that you'll meet in the Bible. David and Moses and Jesus and Paul. So this may be a way to at least get people curious to take a look at the Bible. Secondly is this is a book of wisdom. There are entire books in the Bible devoted to wisdom literature. For example, Proverbs. And I've heard some people will do one chapter of Proverbs a day for the whole month, and then they're done with Proverbs, and then go back and repeat it, because there are so many good comments there, and other places involving wisdom, and good comments on how to lead your life, how to be a good person, how to deal with financial and emotional situations. Third, the Bible has been a tremendous source of literary inspirations. So if we pick up a book, and let's say it's Moby Dick. Now, maybe nobody wants to read Moby Dick. I'm just using that as an example. But at the beginning of Moby Dick, the first three words are, "Call me Ishmael." Well, if you knew who Ishmael was in the Bible, you're off to a pretty good start to see what's going on there. And some of the best literary minds of all time have used the Bible. They have used it and they've absorbed the characters in the Bible stories and have incorporated, weaved them into things that they are talking about. So literary inspirations. How about artistic inspirations? We look at Da Vinci, we look at Michelangelo, more modern artists. They will use biblical themes. And if you know those biblical themes, it enriches your experience of working with this art. And so let me stop here. You notice that over and over we're talking to the non-Christian. We're not offering Bible verses. We're not talking about spiritual value. We're talking about the other kinds of values that the Bible has to try to get somebody in and let the Bible start working on their lives, and it will. How about musical? Here's another thing. The musical inspirations. Everything from Handel's Messiah, pretty obvious, just taking chunks of the Bible. But there are all sorts of musical inspiration, including modern music. I always think of Cat Stevens. She had a song, "Morning Has Broken," and it's talking about Eden. And so even, and there's a list of modern rock musicians that have used biblical ideas and biblical names and biblical passages. Our language itself has been enriched because of the Bible. Am I my brother's keeper? Heard that one before. Whoa, the writing is on the wall. That's from the Bible. There are just so many phrases and individual words that have enriched our language that came from biblical people and biblical stories. One more thing. If you're trying to woo this person over and get them to open up the Bible is the cornerstone book of the Western world. It's where we got our morality. It's where we got our idea for politics. It's where we got the idea of treating the individual person, the common individual person. Nobody doubts that. Everybody says, yes, that's a fact. The Bible is the cornerstone book of the Western civilized world. Let me give you a quotation I think is interesting, a couple of quotations to end with. Well, first, recent research has shown that 41 outstanding teachers were interviewed, and they said that knowledge of the Bible was crucial for good education, provides an educational advantage for students. And they did another study one time. They talked to the several chairs at secular colleges. They said the Bible is the one book, the one key book that students need to have out of high school, coming into college from high school. That is the one book that they need to have to help them ensure their success. And then here's the conclusion. Somebody once said, the Bible is the learned man's masterpiece, the ignorant man's dictionary, and the wise man's directory. And so, if this is interesting to you and you're thinking about, boy, that'd be great to get somebody kind of started on the Bible, if you contact me, I have a short piece called Best of the Best, and it's a way to help people get started Bible reading, especially for the non-Christian. Oh, maybe it'd help a Christian too. So let me know. I'd be glad to send that to you. It's just 2 pages long, and it'll guide people through some of the best chapters to read.